On your settings page, you'll see some global settings that are going to apply to all the sites that you want to monitor synthetically. The ones we'll cover really quickly are regions, browsers, times, and checks. A region is pretty self-explanatory. Where do you want to monitor from? If you want to edit those regions, you just simply click on Edit, and then you'll see a map occur with locations that you have that you can select from. So I'm going to go ahead and add India here. Once I hit Save, I'll see that India shows up in my list of regions that I can measure from. Now from within my site configuration, I can go and select India and add that. So those scheduled texts that are running will now run from that location. Browsers works much the same way. However, it's a little bit more complex. If you want to measure from some of the pre-selected settings that we have, you can select Chrome for desktop. If you hover over here, you can see the actual settings for speed, download, upload latency, the viewport size, device pixel ratio, and finally the CPU throttling. Kind of important if you're really trying to emulate a user experience for something like a slow mobile connection or a really fast desktop user. So these are the defaults that we have that you can use, and you can always, again, see what those settings actually are. And if it's not quite fitting for you, you can create your own custom browser profile simply by adding a custom browser. I've done so here for slow mobile. If we go in, we can see that I've selected an engine of Chrome. We also have the option to select from Chrome Beta, Canary, IE11, and Firefox. I can select the viewport size, and we've got some popular viewport sizes for different devices here, or I can elect to customize that, and then that allows me to specify the width and the height. You can also override the user agent if you like, if you want to be specific about the user agent, if that's important for your application and the way that you're serving things, but also more importantly, and in a lot of cases, if you want to be able to identify that this was synthetic traffic coming from SpeedCurve, or it could be something that's being blocked by your firewall and you want to override this setting. This can all be done at that global custom browser level. You can select the device pixel ratio here, the bandwidth that you would like to measure from and emulate with network throttling, and then finally the CPU throttling, which allows you to do a slowdown of the CPU to, again, mimic something like, in this case, a slow, smaller CPU device that's making up your slow mobile profile. And then you just give it a name. That's very simply how you add those browsers. Times, another really simple one. If you want to add a time, you do so here, put it in 24-hour format, and then those times will be available to you within your site settings to be able to be selected at different intervals that you want to run. Last one here is checks. We recommend people keep this at the default 3. And what this basically means is we're running each test within your site, each URL, 3 times. Then we're taking the median test run from that to display in your results. This helps control some of the variability that you might see in synthetic testing. If you want to change this, if you want to, you can go up from here. If you wanted to add, say 5 checks to smooth that out a little bit more, that's fine. However, if you go too crazy here, I think that you're getting minimal impact from your checks budget. And really, we find that 3 tends to work very well for most of our customers. Those are the global settings of regions, browsers, times, and checks.